The central theme around adverse childhood experiences and lifelong negative consequences that they can have is what is known as toxic stress. Toxic stress occurs when a person's stress response system is activated far more frequently and with a more powerful intensity than typical. Toxic stress can also be formed from the body's stress response system being activated for prolonged periods of time. Toxic stress is often made worse when a child lacks the tools needed to buffer it, such as resiliency and a loving, supportive relationship with an adult. Toxic stress during adolescence can impair anatomic changes and or physiologic dysregulations during the important phase of our development that, according to Dr. Jack P. Shonkoff, are the precursors of later impairments in learning and behavior, as well as the roots of chronic stress-related physical and mental illness. Christy Williams, an Ohio State University sociological professor affiliated with their Institute for Popular Research, was quoted as saying that childhood adversity creates a chain of risk that has a lifelong impact on health. Williams was part of a collaboration of researchers that examined close to 20 years of data from the National Longitudinal Study of Youth that focused on several types of ACEs and their connection to biological alterations such as cancer. A large portion of the research examining how adverse childhood experiences relate to the negative changes in a person's biology come from the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Researchers are still trying to fully understand exactly how adverse experiences in our early years can directly shape our overall health decades later. What we do know, however, is that severe and repeated activation of stress hormones related to toxic stress can result in biological alterations that impact the nervous, endocrine, and immune systems for the duration of a person's life. One of the key aspects of these alterations is an increase in inflammatory marker proteins throughout the body. It's this inflammation that is believed to put a person at a higher risk for developing conditions such as diabetes and cancer. Such inflammation also risks damaging the heart, arteries, and immune system, leaving a person at a much higher risk of infection and potentially developing autoimmune disease as well. Long-term changes in the structure and function of the developing brain, the metabolic, immune, and endocrine responses, and even the way DNA is read and transcribed are all linked to toxic stress. Also, just to go back on to what Christy Williams from Ohio State University had said about childhood adversity creating a chain of risk that has a lifelong impact on a child and their health. Statistics have shown that people who are at high risk for ACE-related health concerns are also at a much higher risk of later on inflicting their own children with those similar adverse childhood experiences. So it really is sort of a chain.